What up there, Mikey Scrooge? Good from Michael here at the Fifth Third Riverbank run in Grand Rapids. It's the 40th annual run this year, so I decided better come back and do this because I haven't done this in a couple of years. I've done the Fifth Third Riverbank run twice, the 5K both times, doing the 5K again today, by the way. And the reason why I didn't do it the past 2 years because I did the half marathon and marathon at Borgess, and I didn't want to come up here and run on really tired legs for this race. Well, now I'm not training for a long race this year. I decided, well, it's about time that I step it up, come back up, and see what kind of time we can put in. Last time I was up here, I ran around 2015. I don't think that was my time, not like the year. I don't think I'm going to put in that good of a time. I'd like to beat 2050. Last week at Borgess I was 2056, so I'd like to get at least 2050 today, and I think we can do that. It's going to be a gorgeous day outside. It's going to be around 50 degrees by the start of race time, which is at 7 a.m., which is the earliest race I run this year, by the way, too. Had to get up at 4 a.m., by the way, to get up here. But I'm awake now. Got about an hour before the race right now as I'm filming. So yeah, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, talking about temperatures. 50 degrees for the race, very little wind. So there'll be no wind whatsoever. Sun will be up. It's going to be bright and beautiful. They were calling for rain, I remember, like 10 days ago, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to run this in the rain. But now, weather's fine. It's going to be perfect. Can't wait to run it. It's going to be perfect not just for 5K runners, 10K, 25K runners as well. It's going to be just a gorgeous, gorgeous day outside. So there are actually people who have ran this 40 consecutive years, every single one of these. I am not one of them, obviously. Not even 40 years old, for gosh sakes. So let me show you off the shirt really quickly here, and then we'll talk about the race a little bit more. Here's the shirt for the Riverbank Run. Really nice looking shirt here. It says 40 years Riverbank Run, and it's got the date on it, 5/13/17. And on the back it actually tells you what race you're running. So you got 5K, you got the Fifth Third Riverbank 40, and who's sponsoring the 5K? That's D-Matic. And this is I believe this is a cotton shirt. You could have upgraded to a tech shirt if you wanted to, but I just felt like sticking with this shirt. Didn't want to have to pay the extra money for it, I guess. So like I said, running the 5K today, and we start right outside of DeVos Place here on Monroe Avenue. It's going to start at Monroe and Lyon Street. The finish line actually is just down the street, about a couple hundred yards. It's going to be at Lyon and Ottawa Street. That's where the finish line is. So basically we go in like a big block to get from the start to the finish line. Well, it's kind of a block because you'll come up and then at the end you'll come up a street, turn left, and then turn right really quickly and head toward the finish line. Don't remember the route exactly, but I know there's not a lot of hills in it. There's maybe like one up downhill by like the first mile marker, and we do run across, I think, the Grand River, which is really cool. We run across a bridge, so I think I remember correctly. So that's really cool.
I think so. You showed
and
me
I think,
the race.
Yeah. And the second mile might be a little more uphill, but it's more of a like steady incline where you don't really feel it. So it's not like, like a big change in elevation. So it's just like a slight change. So it won't be too bad. With this race, I mean, compared to the Borgess Run, like I said, there's just the biggest race in Kalamazoo. There's like 7,000 total runners in that race. We're talking like 50,000 possibly total runners here at this race, and about 6,000 the last time that I looked at the results for the 5K. So there's basically as many runners in the 5K as there are for the Borgess race combined. So they'll have people in the starting chute that will hold up times where you would start, if you're going 6 minute, 7 minute pace all the way, to the back, you want to line up around that. And they won't start you all at once too. They'll start you out in little groups and send you off. That way it doesn't get too congested. So you want to make sure you are where you are in the starting chute. Here's my bib number, by the way. It's a pretty large number because I did register kind of late. 33029. So 33,029 is my bib number. And then afterwards we'll be over in Calder Plaza for the celebration because I got a free beverage ticket redemption on here. I didn't use it actually, I think the other 2 years I came. But we're going to use it this year. They're going to have Buffalo Wild Wings over there that you can purchase, and lots of other things going on in the post-race area. So that's what I want to do. Let's just go to the post race area right now. Forget the race. We're just going to the post race celebration. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, DeVos Place is starting to fill up with runners here, as you can see behind me. Actually, if Kathleen turns around, there are some behind me as well. But if you turn around, the sun's coming up too, as we got about 45 minutes before the start of the race. So we'll see you at the start line for the Fifth Third Riverbank Run. It's the 40th year, 5K, ready to do this.
10, 9, 8, 7, slow down. 10, 9, go.
Good job, Michael! Yay, Michael! He is trucking.
This is Calder Plaza. 10K runners just started. They're up on the screen there. We're at the finish fest. Oh yeah, sure. I can get my picture taken over there. I'm having a free beer. And here's my support crew. Hi. This is the 25K. I have never been around. I think by the time this is started, we're lined up, ready to go. All right, finishing up the running recap from my basement. You're probably wondering, Michael, why didn't you finish the recap up at the Fifth Third Run? Well, they do have a QR code on here, so you can find out your instant results of the race. However, I don't have a QR scanner on my phone, and also my phone, isn't that advanced, and I don't have another device that has good capability. I don't have basically a phone that has like network capability. I only have like a device that has Wi-Fi capability. So that's why we waited. All right, so let me tell you the results first off for my race. I was 60th overall, which I was kind of surprised I was that high. Looking at the results last time when I ran like a 2013 or a 2015, somewhere around that time, 2020 might have been the time, a couple years ago, I was actually around that place, was about 60th, maybe 65th or so. And so I thought with the time I had today, because I knew when I crossed the line, my watch said 20:44, but that was like unofficial. Well, now I got the official result, and that was my time. But 60th overall, that was pretty good. I was 8th in my age group, and there was almost 200 people in my age group, so that was really good as well. There was about almost 7,000 runners. No, not 7. Sorry, wrong, way wrong. Almost 4,000 runners, about almost 3,700 runners that were in the 5K. And I was 60th overall. That was pretty impressive. I am very, very happy with that. Time-wise, I beat my goal today. I was hoping to get under 2050, and I did that. I beat it by 6 seconds. So next race, I try to like to be under 2040. Take it a little bit at a time, as you would say. Let's talk about the race now. I really thought, after when I was running my first mile, I was going to be well under this. I was going to like shatter the 20-minute barrier from what it looked like, maybe even, or just be a little bit above it, is what it was. I started out right in the front, basically. I started with the first group of runners to go. We went. I was basically tried to be between the 6 and the 7 minute groups. I was trying to be in the middle, about the 6:30 area. But I was like one of the first rows out, and the group I was with, we just went out fast and hard and strong, and I could feel it. I could feel I was going very fast. I didn't look at where I was at a quarter mile or a half mile time-wise. I didn't want to distract myself with that. I just wanted to keep my eye on the runners that were in front of me and stay with them. So yeah, we started on Monroe, and then we headed out for a little bit, made a right-hand turn. I don't remember the whole course exactly, but I know we made a bunch of rights and a few lefts in there as well. And there was a guy like in a kind of like not a tank top because girls wear tank tops, but one of those jerseys, like running jerseys that people wear. I was trying to stick with this one guy, and I managed to do it for about halfway through the race. Well, we got to the mile mark, which was which was like on a straight road right before we go up an uphill and then get a nice downhill decline afterwards. And I could see the mile time as we're heading toward, and it was under 6 minutes at that time. I'm like, holy cow, am I booking it right now? My watch went off and it said 6:15 was my first mile time, which was about 21 seconds faster than what I was a week ago at Borgess. And I was like, oh boy, we're going to have to see if we can hold on to this, because what I wanted to do at Borgess was I wanted to try to be around 6:25 for my mile time, and I felt like I was a little too slow, even though I still got under 21. Today I was like, oh, this could be too fast. Well, I was hanging around this guy for about a mile and a half. There was like a little uphill section we had. I actually ended up getting ahead of him, and then we had a downhill section, and then he caught back up with me. I guess I was stronger through the uphills than I was the downhills. But yeah, it was a beautiful morning, no doubt about that. Like I said, temperatures in the 50s and no wind out there whatsoever, so we didn't have to worry about that. But we're running along. We run over the Grand River, so we run over a bridge, go up just a little hill to get on the bridge and head over that. And we go straight for a little bit. We get back on the road, and we're approaching the 2 mile mark. And I look, my watch goes off, and I look, and it said 6:45, and I'm like, yeah, that's making sense, because my pace was starting to, I could feel it was starting to slow down, and I saw it said 13 flat at the 2 mile mark as well. And that's the thing that bugs me, is when I start out that fast, that I end up, slowing down a whole lot. So I kind of need to do a little bit better in training, which, it's the beginning of the running season, the racing season, so I expect my times to get better later on down the line. Because let's see, where was I at the Borgess Run? I ran 6:36 and 6:47, so that would have put me 37 seconds, like, what was that? 13:37, I think. So I was still like 37 seconds ahead of. I think that's right. I don't know. I'm trying to do my math in my head right now, and it's not working out. So anyways, so we'll forget about adding that up. So we got to past the 2 mile mark, and the last mile has definitely, I forgot about it, has definitely some undulation changes. You're going up a hill, one of the streets, so you go back down, then you go back up, and then you go back down for quite a while. It's a nice little downhill toward the end, and then we flatten out. We'll go around a corner, turn down a street, and then quickly turn down Ottawa Street, which is the last street that we're on. Sorry, I don't know the names of the streets in Grand Rapids, but we turned down Ottawa. I knew we finished on Ottawa, and it's got a long stretch to the end, probably about 200 meters or so, I would say. And I'm trying my best to get to the line. Like I said, I'm worn out by this point, and there's runners like passing me left and right. Not like a ton, but a few going past me left and right. We get across the line. I'm looking at the clock too, and I'm like, okay, come on, can we be under 20:50? And I look, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna be under it. Hit the line, stop at the watch, and it was 20:44. So that's exactly what it said for the time overall as well. So that was good. So I was 13 minutes at the 2 mile mark. The last mile was a 7:01. So that's not something I want to have as a 7-minute last mile. I'd like to definitely be in the 6s. Because that definitely is slower than last week. I was at Borgess because I was, I think, like 6:56 or something like that was my last mile. So 5 seconds slower than last week. So actually that doesn't make sense, where I'd have been 37 seconds faster at the 2 mile mark. Let's see, yeah, I've been 12, 13, I think I was like 13:20 or so, I think, last week. That would have made a little more sense, like 13:20 or so at the 2 mile mark last week. So that's still 20 seconds faster. So overall, I mean, it was great to, be under 21 for another race. It was great to be under, beating my goal of 20:50. So I'm great gracious for that. Even though it probably wasn't the smartest race I ran, I still ended up with a very good time. Oh, look, we got a visitor. Say hi. Say hi, buddy. He's not paying attention. So that's the recap of the race. If you did the Fifth Third Riverbank Run, congratulations. Whether you did the 5K, the 10K, the 5K walk, the 25K, you participated in one of the wheelchair races or one of the cycle races there as well. Congratulations to everybody that finished. It was the 40th year of the Riverbank Run, so it was great to be a participant in this. I hope to do this again next year. I had a lot of fun afterwards as well. Went to the Finish Fest where I had a free drink, so I got a free beer, and also got some wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. They were there as well, so that was great. And now we're home, ready to relax for the rest of the day. Next run will be the Susan G. Komen Southwest Michigan Race for the Cure. That will be on May 21st, which is a Sunday. That'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be held out at the Gilmore Car Museum in Hickory Corner. So that will be where my next recap is. Now stay tuned after the video. After I'm done talking here, I recorded the race on Wood TV 8, so we're going to see if you can see me on the TV, and if you can, we'll get a little video shot of that as well to put in there. So drop a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe for more content. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description below. Until next time, it's Michael out and over and out. Mikey Screwguys are the best. Take care. Don't forget, stay tuned. There might be a little footage afterwards. You might see me on the TV. Peace.
Look, there I am! Right there! You're behind the... There he goes.
Won the 5K last year, I think.
I believe so.
Ha!
And he did the 5K and the 10K. A lot of these people who are running in the 5K
That's you!
thinking about doing both of them. Is that pretty
Run, Michael, run!
You know, for
Yeah!
You! Oh my goodness!